Welcome to the podcast, guys. In today's episode, we have a very exciting guest, a very long-term friend that I'm thrilled to be able to bring her entrepreneurial experience to you guys. But for those of you joining the podcast, I'm Michael Smith, the founder and CEO of Nexvia AI, and we specialize in helping business leaders scale their revenue through automation. So if you want to learn how to build your business to the next level, just stick around. Or if you're interested in a free growth consultation, just drop me the word growth in the DMs. But let's get to the guest of honor. Today, we're diving into the world of transformational travel with Gina Hill, the founder of Gina Hill Journeys. Gina has built a brand dedicated to creating deeply meaningful travel experiences, something I'm all about, and focusing on culture, connection, and adventure that really changes the way people see the world. And I mean, personally, I think kind of yourself when you go through a journey like that. So her passion is for exploration, and her ability to create journeys that go beyond the typical trip is really, I think, what makes her work so compelling. Gina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's good to see you. It's been a long time.
Way too long. So take me back. I guess take me back a few years at this point. It's been when you think about when you started Gina Hill Journeys, what was happening at the time that made you feel that that was the move to make for you?
Well, it was almost 4 years ago, and at the time I was working full time as the city clerk for my town, which is a small town of about 3,500 people, but within the greater metropolitan Atlanta area. And I was the city clerk. I kind of took the job. I had been there almost 8 years. I took the job because I'm like, it's close to my house. I had a son in elementary school at the time so it was close to him. It was obviously my community that I had lived in a long time.
Yeah.
So, at the time it was like an easy thing to do. It seemed like a natural thing to do. I wasn't into climbing some corporate ladder anymore. Um, and I remember thinking one day, like, but all right, it wasn't a great fulfilling job. Uh, and I remember one day I was sitting in my office thinking, I think I'll just stay here till I retire. And then I started doing the math to figure out how long that would be. And I got so depressed. I was like, it was going to be like 13 years until I turned 65. I'm like, I can't imagine doing this 13 years. At the time, I'd always been interested in becoming a travel agent. I had
Okay.
no role models. I didn't know if it was still a thing. So I interviewed several travel agents to find out what it was all about. And finally, actually a mutual friend of ours who
Yeah.
we had started her own travel business in 2017. And she's like, hey, why don't you come work with me? I'll show you the ropes. You can do it part time, as little or as much as you want. And to me at that time, I'm like, all right, I think the stars have aligned for me to do this as a side hustle. I couldn't afford to quit my job and dive completely in, but I did that on a part-time basis for about 2 years before I went full time. And
Okay.
in that time, working full time and doing that in the evenings and weekends, it was pretty intense for that couple of years.
Yeah. I'm curious. So along your journey, can you think of a moment when you thought, wow, this is harder than I expected?
Oh wow. I can't think of a moment, but I will say it was a lot steeper learning curve than I expected. Um, it's a whole world, as a business and an industry that I was completely unaware of. Hiring me to plan your trip, it's not like I plan your trip just as if you'd planned your trip. I have so many resources and, suppliers and relationships and logistics and, there's portals, there's all kinds of things that, I don't go on to like Airbnb and book you an Airbnb. Like, you know, so that was just getting used to that was a really steep learning curve. And I'm really thankful that I had Hedy, my mentor, that I was able to call and ask questions to. It's a very supportive industry too. So um, everyone kind of helps each other out. So it has been a lot tougher than I expected.
What did you feel like, like what was going on when you thought, wow, this is actually going to work? This is building something to the point that I actually could step away from my full-time job.
Well, it wasn't that I am like, all right, financially, I'm ready to step away from my full time job because honestly, I don't think I was. I was actually, I know I was not. But it was right at the time that my son left for college. So we were empty nesters. Um, I'm a pretty emotional person. So leading up to that was kind of stressful and emotional. And I needed something to invigorate me and excite me. And I really needed that at that time. So it was right around, I remember actually my husband was his industry was in some turmoil, so he was like, will you wait to quit your job just until this turmoil's over? Should be just a few months or whatever. I'm like, all right, sure. So we took our son to college, moved him into his dorm. The next weekend we were in the car, and I just started bawling, and I'm just like, dude, I need something to excite me. I need something to get invested in. And of course, whenever you cry, your spouse, it kind of can freak your spouse out. So he's like, okay, okay, quit your job. So yeah, it was really, that was really the impetus to make me make the switch to full time.
What has been the most surprising thing to you, or maybe what would be surprising to other people about building a business like yours?
Um, Surprising thing, just really how hard it is and how long it takes, how slow the growth has been. I think there are people out there that think, oh, I'll become a travel agent and I'll get to take all these free trips and, it'll be great. And it is. And if you don't have to make a certain amount of money to survive out of the gate, then sure, it could be a lot of fun and you don't have to get stressed out and take your time. But if it's going to be something you're going to live on, and it takes a long time, and it's difficult.
Let's talk business and goals a little bit. Like, what is your goal for from a business perspective? Do you have something you're shooting for?
Um, Not particularly. I've never been like I want to make this much per month kind of person. Um, I when I got into this, I had really three main goals, and that was to make money, not necessarily get wealthy, but make money.
Right.
Have flexibility, be in charge of my own schedule, be my own boss, and to travel more. So far, two out of three. So I already feel like, and I have to remind myself occasionally, like, especially when I get kind of down or negative, it's like, girl, you're already two out of three, and the
Right.
three's coming. So a lot of it is mindset. That's something I've really had to work on. I've gotten a little woo woo in the process. Yeah.
What do you mean by that? What have you been woo woo about?
Um, the beginning of the year, I took a shift in my business the beginning of the year because I'm like, if I continue this way, I was doing a ton of trips, but I wasn't really making any money. And
Uh,
I'm like, these are not the right trips. These are not the right clients. So the beginning of the year, I'm like, I'm going to make a shift. I have to start putting my processes in place and getting out of my comfort zone and doing things to get the right clients. And at the same time, I took a manifestation workshop, and
Okay.
I've actually been practicing that, practicing more gratitude, um, meditating, and I think it does help. I think it has helped me, whether or not that it really does or not. It's like half of it is believing it, but it's like doing these things can't hurt. And there have been times it's really helped my outlook and my attitude
Yeah.
when things get rough.
I think there's no doubt it helps. It certainly won't hurt, but I think it for sure helps. Like
Yeah.
if you had a little Gina magic wand, fix one thing in your business right now that is holding you back from, I'm not sure which of the three you haven't haven't achieved, but
Money.
money. Yeah. Okay. So you're shifting the focus maybe from the travel to money. Uh, One thing that you feel like in your business right now that's either holding you back or slowing you down to get to the place where you feel like you have a good steady income. Um, what's the biggest
I
challenge?
I think it is finding what we call the business aligned clients. So clients that have money to spend, they want to spend it on travel, they value the experience uh, more than anything really, and the traveling in a low stress way, and they trust my judgment, they trust me. um, they're clear about their goals, they don't micromanage me. um, I am having more of those clients, and those are easier to work with, it's more gratifying because I'm able to ensure the more money you spend, I'm able to ensure the better experience you're going to
Right.
have. And
Where are
so I
most of your clients coming from right now? Is it referrals?
a lot of referrals now. I'm actually actually I have, clients from like my days when I worked back at CNN. I have a lot of clients from that just
Hmm.
kept in that this is what I'm doing. Initially, there's a very robust moms Facebook group in my area, and the word kind of got out on in that group, people asking for travel agent recommendations. I've gotten a lot of business from there. And
Cool.
now I have people where I'm like, I don't even remember, like clients in like New Jersey or something. I'm like, I don't even remember how you found me. But, it's great that geography doesn't matter as far as my clientele
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, that's a good problem to have that you don't remember. Yeah, steady group of clients, you're not even sure where
Yeah.
some of them came from.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But word of mouth referrals is really the
yeah,
backbone of my
yeah.
business.
Now, before we went live, we were talking a little bit about AI. I'm curious, is that something that you've used in your business so far?
I use it mostly for writing and research.
Hmm.
I do a lot of social media posts. I do a quarterly newsletter. Um, so I love to use it for writing.
Yeah,
And I love that you can say, hey, say this better or say it punchier, and you can take and use what you like,
yeah, yeah,
because I don't want it to be completely AI. And I also think sometimes it says some stupid stuff.
yeah,
So I will maybe
yeah.
weave in some of it in the stuff I write. I've used it some for research.
Hmm.
Um, but to me, it reminds me of when the internet came out. It's kind of like, oh, wow, you kind of dip your toe in it and then you find out it can do this. And then I think with AI now, for me and probably a lot of small business owners, it's like, I don't know how to use it in some ways, because I don't even know what it can and can't do.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a learn, it's a gradual thing for me.
Certainly, content creation is a big place where a lot of people, especially in industries, I think like yours, are,
Hmm.
where it's a very valuable tool to connect with other people and save time, and almost like having a an assistant of sort to help you with your content creation. Um, do you, so you we were also talking a little bit about your connection to to businesses, is that, do you reach out to businesses, or I know you go to events and things and get connected to them that way. Do you have, is there any benefit to you to actually reach out to businesses and start conversations?
There can be. One thing that's common in my industry is if you are on vacation or you travel somewhere, maybe you want to go around and tour some of the hotels or resorts. So you have firsthand experience when you recommend them to your clients. It also helps you justify a tax write-off when you travel. So, it's not unusual to say, "Hey, I'm coming to your town.
Mm, yeah,
Can I get a site visit, a tour?" Uh, and obviously, I reach out to people when I'm like, "Hey, I met you at this event last year. I have a client come into the area. I'm interested in having them stay at your hotel." So also, when you become a travel agent, if you're with any kind of host agency or consortium, immediately your inbox gets overrun with suppliers reaching out to you.
right.
They come to town and take you out to eat and stuff to talk about what they can offer you. Um, and you build up that kind of well of industry folks that you tap into when you have a client that fits, that needs what they offer.
So I know you're not particularly goal or, I mean, sure you have goals, but you haven't really necessarily pinpointed a particular goal. But if you were to look in the future, 6 to 12 months, how would you like to see your business change, or what would have happened that you felt like you absolutely nailed it? Like, what would that look like to you?
Uh, Probably to clear a certain amount of money in a year. Um, After I pay taxes, that would be,
Right.
if I,
Hmm.
like hit six figures or something like that, that would be something to celebrate.
Yeah.
But I would also like to you know, have maybe fewer clients, uh, fewer trips, but that they be bigger trips
Right.
and
Yep.
more repeat clients.
Hmm.
So, uh, I have one client who travels very well and often throughout the year, and she actually has me like on a retainer.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I love planning trips for them. They trust me. I've learned their travel style.
Hmm.
Um, so I would like to have more clients like that. Um, and do less trip planning, but better quality,
But yeah.
probably.
Have you
Yeah.
thought about how would you connect with more people like that?
Yeah, that's really the the crux of the challenge.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people, either because of their family or their neighborhood or their spouse's business or whatever,
Hmm.
kind of are more plugged in to people like that. That's not the case with me, probably, but I've tried different things that haven't worked too. Like I sponsored a golf tournament, um, thinking, wanting to package golf trips
Right.
and wanting to meet people. I didn't get anything from that. Doing things like my newsletter that I just started this year, and hoping that people will share that. And I'm having an event next week at a local
Okay.
cocktail bar where it's going to be a travel book swap and inviting people just to come talk to me and ask questions about working with me or
Hmm.
um, and I also the CEO and founder of our host agency, she gave me a piece of advice. She's like, as far as social media goes, she said, post the things you want to sell. So I only post what I like booking, and in hopes that draws more of it, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So when I have clients that when they travel, they send me pictures. And, I just posted yesterday on my Instagram stories a text I got from a client that's in Italy right now who was like, "Oh my God, today was amazing. The people that have been helping us that you booked are unbelievable." So I ask people to send me pictures and stuff like that. And when I travel,
Yeah.
I post. So I'm just putting a lot of that out there and hoping it attracts more of the same.
I think that when I've used a similar experience, when you can go on a trip and everything is taken care of, like you walk outside your hotel and there's somebody there just magically to pick you up, right? That kind of
Yeah,
experience is life changing, like your client is having. It's so memorable, and I think at the beginning when I was talking about like it changes you, it really does. When you experience that type of travel, you want more of
100%. And it
it.
is an investment. But historically, when I've traveled, and this is why I got in the business, I love the research, I love the logistics, I love the planning.
Hmm.
But I'm always the one with the map and you know, trying to text the driver, where are you, And I have been able to travel with some of the partners I work with around the world and been on these trips that they've taken care of everything. And I've noticed like, oh my God, I'm able just to sit back and ask questions and look at the scenery and really soak everything up instead of
Yeah.
worrying about, how are we going to get our luggage from here to there? It really makes a huge difference.
And I don't like the research and I don't like figuring it out and I don't want to figure out like all of those things that you have to do that someone else can really step in and manage that for you. To me, it just is such a much more gratifying experience from end to end.
Well, and that
Yeah,
blows
yeah.
me away. I was shocked when I found out there are people that don't like doing what I do.
That's a good
I'm like,
thing that we have people like you.
but the research is half the fun.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, people, that feel like you do, or they're overwhelmed by the planning.
Hmm.
They haven't traveled in a long time, so they're nervous. Maybe they've never been to Europe. Um,
Yeah.
they're too busy to do it. They have kids, they have
Mm,
full-time jobs. Those are really reasons that people come to me.
yeah. So I would highly recommend you just, even if it's just start small, you will so appreciate what having someone like Gina can do to your travel experience when you know it's just taken care of. So if people want to get in touch with you, Gina, what's the best way for them to reach out and connect and have conversations and figure out more about what you do and how you do it?
So my email is Gina, Gina, at hedytravel.com, Hed as in dog Y, travel.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram under Gina Hill Journeys. So people sometimes reach out to me by messaging me on those platforms.
Fantastic. Highly recommend it. Thank you so much, Gina. I feel like it's
Thank
been
you.
years since we've actually seen each other. And I know we're not in person, but this is as close as we get for now. So it's been great
I
to
know
see
it
you.
has been a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey, both the great parts and the challenges, because this is what we're all here to inspire each other. So I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Michael.
Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.